I would just like to direct your attention to the program folder. Again, there's a picture of a family member of mine on the cover. And I sent an email out to the board this week saying, I don't want to overdo it. Does anybody mind if I put yet another picture of my family on the cover? And the reason this picture fits our theme today, so this is Aurora. She's 3 years old. And she doesn't like to have her picture taken normally anymore. She's so fed up with it. But she asked her mom to take her picture beside her favorite bush. Can you see the feeling she has connected to the bush behind her in the picture? And that feeling of sheer appreciation for that life form is just radiating from her, I think. So that's why I chose it, because that's appreciation right there, what it feels like. There you go. See the bush? It's a sage bush. Yeah. Mommy, will you take my picture beside my favorite bush? So I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if we had a skit trying to bring more creativity into the gathering on Sunday? Wouldn't it be nice to have a skit? Well, what would the skit be about? Well, I'd like to see a skit be about how, we say that the Antichrist, that which robs us of our empowerment and sabotages our awareness that we are the Christ, is our consumerism in many cases, right? And our consumerism, all that packaging we're doing that is, petroleum-based packaging, polluting the earth. Wouldn't it be great if we were using hemp that's biodegradable, much less harmful to the earth, right? So how about something like The Devil Wears Hemp? Would that be a funny skit? Well, somebody has to write it because we don't have it. Just kidding. Just kidding. But let's have some skits here. I want that. Okay. So The Devil Wears Hemp because it's biodegradable. Well, this is the final installment of our series on growing in love. And the first one was growing in love through non-judgment. I've been more and more sensitive to that dynamic, and I find that when we judge someone, we kind of freeze them in that perception toward us. We see them in that judgmental way. So many times, we encounter people and we say, well, that person's a lot of trouble, and we just avoid them. But if we get past that, see them as a growing, evolving spiritual being on a journey of unfoldment, everything can change. But that doesn't happen if we stay in our judgment. Then the second one, growing in love through self-acceptance. And when I was trying to create that sermon, when I was creating that sermon, it seemed like you can't talk about that. That's an experience. I can't confer that to you in a descriptive, abstractional message. You need to have an experiential encounter with that idea. And so we had our ritual of walking past a mirror, looking into the mirror, and saying, I deeply and completely love and accept myself just the way I am. And then last week, we talked about growing in love through trust. And the thing that I wanted to shift for the mainstream consciousness is that we tend to think of love as something that you earn. Trust. We tend to think of trust as something that you earn and we confer upon someone, but trust is our own quality that we live. We live trust. We don't award it. So, and without that trust, without cultivating your power to trust, the energy choice of being in a positive state of expectancy, then that leaves you in fear. And in fear, cannot love. Simple. So now, this fourth piece, growing in love through appreciation. Now, a couple of times I said growing in love through gratitude when I was promoting it. That's a mistake. Gratitude and appreciation are different. Gratitude is being thankful. I receive something, I see something that I have, I see something that exists, and I'm thankful for it. Appreciation is more of a process, more of an action. It's praising it, it's noticing how something occurs, it's noticing its qualities, it's seeing it in a way that is truly active, not passive. The same way with self-acceptance, that it's hard to describe self-acceptance in abstractions. You need to experience it. It's the same with appreciation. Kind of need to experience it. So here's the salt box for our experiential rituals, but we're not doing one. I just put that here, just like the skit, to make you think maybe we're going to do a ritual. Oh dear, do I have to get up and walk past the altar and do something? No, because if we light all those candles and put candles in a box to symbolize our appreciation, what'll happen? The room will get too hot. You know what I mean? So I put the box here. This is a box of salt that we use at Christmas time for our candle lighting service. It's not sand, it's salt. To help you imagine an imaginary ritual. So first of all, maybe instead of a candle, we could have a candle-shaped piece of ice. A rod of ice you're holding. And you file past the front here, and you put your block of ice in the box of salt. What happens? It melts and dissolves the salt. It dissolves the salt. Just like appreciation dissolves barriers, dissolves hardness, dissolves separation. So just imagine that you put a great big candle-shaped piece of ice into that box, and it melted away and made a wonderful paste out of all that salt, symbolizing appreciation and what it does to matter and to consciousness and to conditions outside of yourself. Now here's another one. Imagine a cup of water. Take a cup of water and pour it onto a pile of dry earth to represent your appreciation process. You're pouring water, like Aquarius is the water bearer. You're pouring water out on this dry earth. And what happens? You make mud. Mud, Mother Earth, the origin, the matrix for all of flora and fauna. Mud. Moist earth. Just like appreciation. Appreciation makes a creative matrix in that which it penetrates. Now turn to humanity. All of humanity. And just emit appreciation for all its triumphs and attainments over the ages. What would you say? I marvel at the needle and thread. When the needle and thread was invented, it changed the way that humans clothed themselves. What about the printing press? The invention of the printing press enabled information to be spread far and wide. It enabled people to read the Bible for the first time. Before that, they had worshipped the Bible as an object. Flight, being able to fly in the air. What a huge triumph, step forward that was. So appreciating humanity for the ingenuity, the ingenious problem-solving ability of the human intellect. We have a vast intellect, human beings do. Turn to the heavens and appreciate how the clouds appear as angels. I think they are angels, honestly. Just appreciate the heavens of this earth are blue, and they transmit light into all the shades of color. What a wonder. What a marvel. To appreciate this wonderful cover of atmosphere that protects us from radiation, that warms us, and that carries so much beauty. Turn to God within and appreciate how infinite, how supremely loving, how all-embracing is this glorious presence. You know, and as we live in partnership with Spirit, as we live in more and more awareness, fully aware, moment by moment, of the presence of God, you know, we often forget to appreciate it. Just be in awe of how marvelous, how healing, how powerful, how loving is this reality, this unseen presence of God. Turn to your closest relationship and appreciate how unique, how extraordinary, how mysterious is your walk together. And really, everyone is your partner. Every single encounter that you have with another human being is unique, is marvelous, extraordinary, and mysterious. I have to tell you that yesterday, I had such a long day. I had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and set up our table at the Cooperating Churches Family Faith Fun Festival, and have 50 copies of all our brochures and keep it from blowing away and talk to people. And we had Abby and Mike and their kids over there tap dancing as part of the attraction with the little tap board in front of our table. And all the other churches that came that were there were in such a wonderful mood and had wonderful conversations with people. Lady sat down at our table just to rest, and she had a little boy with her, beautiful little boy, about 4 years old, and it was her grandson. And she said, his mother just died a month ago. She was the woman who was hit by a car, driving a car that was in an accident. She was thrown. And everyone seems to have heard about that. That lady was this little boy's mother. And the grandmother told me, she says, I know that God can heal anything. God healed my appetite for hard drugs, and I've never looked back. She was so strong in her faith. Appreciation is limitless. There is no limit to the number of things you can appreciate in one thing that you focus on. You know, we tend to be kind of withholding of our praise and appreciation, but, you know, to look at one person and just keep appreciating thing after thing after thing. I love the style of your dress. It's so beautiful. I love the tone of your voice. You have a beautiful sounding voice. The light in your eyes. I see and feel such energy behind that light. You could go on all day if you wanted to, and what would be the result of continually appreciating the same thing, one more thing after another. It's kind of mind-blowing. Appreciation is limitless. It is said that wisdom is the ability to see beauty. Appreciation is expanding. It's expansive. It expands your energy field. It enlarges your vibrational field and accelerates it or quickens it. Appreciation. Appreciation is healthful. It increases the serotonin in your brain, for real. And I was thinking about that. Oftentimes when people are depressed, they're given serotonin as a remedy to, and I wonder, how does that work if you don't change the content of your thought, if you don't start to experience and think of appreciation and joyous thoughts? How can putting a chemical into your brain lift you? How can it? You're going to be thinking nothing, maybe. I don't know. But much more powerful than serotonin medication is appreciation. Healthful in every way. Now, appreciation is joyful. It engenders joy, happiness, gratification, encouragement. What's better than joy? You know, in our little brochure, and the woman sitting at the table with me was reading the brochure, and she quoted that when she said, "Tap the well springs of joy within yourself." She said, "That's what I believe." She said, "That's what I think is the key to everything." Well, appreciation does that. Appreciation puts you in touch with a joy and a gratification and a satisfaction that no amount of potato chips can do, or anything else. Appreciation is energizing. It makes you want to dance. Appreciation can do that. Just being appreciated. Just appreciating. It goes either way. It doesn't matter whether you're on the giving end or the receiving end. Creating appreciation is one of the most positive, exalted things we can do. And it does make you want to dance. Appreciation is holy. It brings you closer in consciousness to Source, to God. I mean, to call something holy is something that we very rarely do anymore. You know, I once was a special friend of a little girl in an orphanage when I was a volunteer, and she didn't have a Bible. So I was going to get her a Bible, so I was telling her. So I can't remember her name right now. I said, "So what kind of a Bible would you like, honey?" And I was thinking whether she wanted a red cover or, large print or King James or whatever. She says, "A holy Bible." So that's what she got, a holy Bible. Appreciation is holy. It brings us into connection with Source, with God. So I say never lapse in your activity of appreciation. Never forget how it brings radiance, wholeness, and abundance into manifestation. Be ever in the game of appreciating. Appreciate absolutely everyone and everything in your awareness, in your entire purview, in the panorama of life. Because then you will truly be growing in love. Moment by moment, step by step, breath by breath, and thought by thought. Amen. Thank you. So as we enter this time of meditation, let's relax. Let go of the thoughts of the day. Turn within and see that inner light as we close our eyes to experience the infinite, the unseen, the within. Our bodies relax and accept this moment. Our hearts thrill and soften. For this is the time of spiritual communion. This is the time of anointing. Renewing, restoring, filling us at every level of our being with inspiration, guidance, and newness of life. Our statement for meditation is, The wonder of love lifts me to new heights of realization. So let us verbalize this, vocalize this together. I'll say it one more time, and then we can say it together. The wonder of love lifts me to new heights of realization. Together, the wonder of love lifts me to new heights of realization. And say that silently in your heart. And let it be true for you as we rest now in the silence. And as we appreciate ever more deeply the allness of spirit, the allness of you, we are filled with peace, oneness, and love. And so it is. Amen.